Taoiseach, I note that the EU discussions around the various policy issues on foreign policy included the discussion on sanctions on Belarus. Inevitably, you would discuss that, but it is extraordinary that there's no discussion at that level on sanctions, possible sanctions on Israel. I mean, when you look at a fragile truce that is now broken, and as we speak, Israeli aircraft are bombing Gaza yet again, when 11 days of a vicious attack on the Gaza Strip led to over 260 deaths, we don't know where this is going to lead. And for EU leaders to just say, oh, we welcome the truce and expect it to last, is entirely naive in the extreme, because this is an ongoing situation of a racist apartheid state with an ultra-nationalist Zionist troops of hate marauding through Arab areas, kicking in doors and screaming out death to all Arabs. This situation is not normal. The Israeli state is not normal, and yet the European Union has economic ties through the EU-Israeli deal that are worth billions to that state every year, and no discussion about sanctions on them. No discussions about if this resumes, there should be strong sanctions on Israel for what they're doing. You can discuss Russia, Belarus, the whole 9 yards, but just ignore doing anything about the Israeli state, treating it as if it was a normal state, and it is not. It is clearly an apartheid, racist, vicious state, and that has to be dealt with by the European Union. What are you doing to put pressure on our European partners to have that discussion about sanctions on the Israeli state? And I've no doubt in the next few weeks we're going to have to return to put pressure on you again about the potential expulsion of the Israeli ambassador from this country should this situation escalate.
Issues in respect of Belarus, and there was great anger at the European Council meeting in relation to the hijacking of the Ryanair plane and the subsequent treatment of Roman Protasevich and his partner. And the sense at the meeting was that a line had been crossed by Lukashenko's regime, and it's unacceptable. And there was an immediate move to initiate sanctions, and strong sanctions, against Belarus for its behaviour. And in many ways, in the context of President Biden's visit to Europe in the last week or two, I think it really sets the context for what is essentially a struggle now in the modern world of democracies versus authoritarian regimes. And that's more and more where this is heading, when activities of this kind are now almost casually entertained by dictators such as Lukashenko. And I condemn what the regime has done. I didn't hear any condemnation in relation to it in terms of the questions I've been asked by others, but this is unacceptable behaviour.